The Mesoamerican Reef, the largest reef system in the Western Hemisphere, continues to surprise us. Nestled in the Gulf of Honduras between Guatemala and southern Belize lies a recently discovered reef system named Cayman Crown. The name was given because of the crown-like formation of the shallow coral reef and the steep walls that end in the Cayman Trench. The reef was discovered in 2014 by scientists from HRI and Pixanha, working along with fishermen in the area. HRI and Pixanha are a team of female researchers working together since 2011, leading explorations, ecological monitoring, and the conservation of the reefs in the Caribbean coast of Guatemala.
We have been working in the Cayman Crown Reef since it first was discovered in 2014. Our research and conservation efforts in the area have been focused on reef characterization and health, climate change impacts, coral diseases, and fish spawning aggregations and megafauna.
Reef characterization and health.
Mapping the reef system has been key to estimate its size, better understand the habitat's diversity structure, and to locate our study sites to develop long-term ecological monitoring program.
Through these vast explorations, we have found that the Cayman Crown Reef is a large and highly complex reef, meaning it encompasses different types of habitats capable of maintaining a rich variety of organisms. It is composed of spur and groove reefs with steep walls that drop vertically from the shelf edge, from 30 meters to waters that are over 300 meters deep.
For monitoring the health of the reef, we are using the Atlantic and Gulf Rapid Reef Assessment methodology. We evaluate reef health by ranking 4 key indicators: commercial fish, herbivorous fish, fleshy macroalgae, and living coral, into grades from 1 to 5, or conditions from critical to very good. The Reef Health Index is a combination of these 4 indicators.
The Reef Health Index latest results for the sites monitored in Cayman Crown in 2021 was 2 out of 5, indicating poor condition of reef health. There was a decline compared to the results gathered in 2019, where the Reef Health Index was 2.5.
The good news? The indicator with the highest score was coral cover, with an average of 54%, which ranks as very good. And one of the sites has the highest coral cover in the area, with 65% in 2021, which is very high compared to the rest of the Mesoamerican Reef that has an average coral cover of 19%. The bad news? Macroalgae cover increased from 15% in 2019 to 24% in 2021. We believe this negative change is being promoted by high nutrient inputs coming from the various watersheds, as well as a decrease in herbivores. Additionally, in 2020, the region was greatly affected by Hurricane Eta and Iota, which brought huge amounts of rain, further increasing the influx of nutrients and sediments from the terrestrial areas that were flooded, most likely exacerbating the macroalgal growth.
Both herbivorous and commercial fish biomass have the lowest scores, and they both ranked in critical condition. To better understand the changes that the reef is undertaking year by year, a new technique to monitor the change in coral cover is being implemented, which is the use of photomosaics. This new technique allows tracking the changes over time, over a specific area, or even over a specific colony, with high-quality 3D images.
Climate change impacts.
Since 2019, we are measuring seawater temperature and pH with in situ permanent loggers placed underwater in 2 study sites.
The information on local temperature and pH variations are key aspects increasing our understanding of the impact of high temperatures linked to bleaching events in the Cayman Crown Reef. Increases in seawater temperature can be a big stressor to corals. Our data shows that for more than 61% of the time for which data is available, the seawater temperature in Cayman Crown remained over 29 Celsius degrees. This suggests that the reefs at our study sites have been under some thermal stress for the last couple years.
Higher temperatures are linked to coral bleaching. In the Caribbean, these events normally occur by the end of the year. We monitor bleaching impacts to document and study the resilience capacity in the Cayman Crown reefs.
In 2021, only 30% of the corals presented some paleness and partial bleaching, and no fully bleached corals were recorded. These results are encouraging compared to the significant bleaching impacts we've recorded in previous years. In 2016, 44.9% of corals were affected. In 2017, bleaching impacted 54.3% of corals, and in 2019, 76.8% presented signs of bleaching.
Coral diseases.
Our efforts monitoring coral disease have been focused mainly on the detection of stony coral tissue loss disease,
A disease which is decimating reef-building species faster than any other coral disease previously described. Fortunately, there has been no signs of stony coral tissue loss disease on the site survey in Guatemala up to November 2022.
Fish spawning aggregations and megafauna. The Cayman Crown area is a potential spot for fish spawning aggregations. We have seen commercially important species like groupers and snappers aggregate. Because of this, we have installed a hydrophone in the area for fish sound mapping. Many species of fish make sound, and this kind of technology and device will allow us to track what species are in the area and if activities such as fish spawning of certain species occur.
After many years of studying the area and pushing for its conservation, both countries agreed to protect the portion that fell within their waters. Guatemala declared the reef a spatial closure zone, which is a fully protected area for 10 years in May 2020 through a ministerial agreement, being the first coral reef area fully protected by the country. In July 2020, Belize expanded the Zapadilla Keys Marine Reserve and declared the area a Conservation Zone 4, a highly protected area. Conservation of herbivorous and commercial fish species.
To increase fish biomass of the reef, we have to adequately manage and enforce fishing regulations and push for sustainable fishing practices.
Water quality improvements and reduction of macroalgae.
To reduce macroalgae proliferation and to enhance the overall health of the reef, we need to urgently manage the watersheds, especially the Motagua River, increase and improve sewage treatment plants along the coastal areas, and enhance herbivory.
Science for active conservation.
To protect the Cayman Crown reef over time, we need to continue doing scientific monitoring and research. Measuring changes in ecosystem health and the impacts of marine conservation is the best way to inform decisions and strengthen conservation actions.